Hey, everybody. Good morning. What a beautiful, beautiful day. And as the guy who started a company that's called The Goal Guide, I figured that it would be great to give you guys, especially this time of the year, end of the year, beginning of the year, we're starting to think about goals. What I'm going to do on this live is give you 6 things that you want to do in order to set yourself up for a very successful 2024 as it pertains to setting goals. And I'll give you a 7th one as a bonus. Number 7 is going to be a huge bonus. In it, I'm also going to give you some tips from the late, great, amazing Zig Ziglar. So let's start off with a quick story. I was this had to be back 2009, 10, somewhere around there. I was leading a sales team, and I hired a young lady. We were selling technology. I hired a young lady right out of college. And so as I was trying to get to know her, we're sitting down for a one-on-one, and I asked her, what are some of your goals? Like, what would you just want to achieve in the next 6 months? She said, well, I've never been on a cruise before. I'd love to go on a cruise and pay for it all myself, completely in full. It's like, wonderful. What a great idea. Said, all right, tonight when you go home, find a cruise that you want to take, figure out the pricing. Let's come back. We'll regroup tomorrow and see what it is. So set up a time for the next day. She gets back to work. We're starting to go over it. She was so excited. I mean, when she came in, she was so excited. Started looking through her cruise and figured out what it was. What I did was I printed out the ship she was going on. We printed out, hey, Facebook user, I'm not sure who it is. Let me know who you are, by the way, in the comments. Streaming, and I will be checking your comments. So she comes in the next day. She knows which cruise she wants to go on. We pull it up on my computer. Beautiful ship. We printed out the ship, the amenities, like how much it's going to cost, everything, and posted it up all over her cubicle, right? So this was the first thing. She was super excited. Hey, good morning. If you're on Facebook commenting, I can't see who it is. I'm doing this through StreamYard. So let me know where you're watching from, and thanks for watching. Glad you're here. This is going to be a really good lesson. So anyway, so she went on to start achieving that goal. She went to work. Before you knew it, 3 months, right? This was a 6-month goal. 3 months later, she buys the cruise and she goes on a cruise. Super duper exciting. Hey, Rhonda, good to see you. Welcome. Super duper excited. And she goes on a cruise, right? So here I am thinking about, well, what went right there? Because that one win in my sales leadership career always stood out to me. I mean, it was a young lady, first time ever, paid for her own cruise, and I was directly responsible for helping her get there, and that made me feel really good. If you've ever helped somebody achieve a goal, you know just how awesome that feels. So what I did was I deconstructed that, because what helped her can help all of us. And the goal doesn't have to be a cruise. The goal can be whatever it is that you want. By the way, when she came back from the cruise, as soon as she walked into my office that Monday morning, she said, okay, I got the next goal. It was an Infinity G37 that she wanted to buy, and she bought that within the next 6 months. So this is really cool. All right, so here we go. The 6 steps that it takes in order for us to achieve our goals. Number 1 is clarity, right? She was very clear on her vision. She was very clear on the fact that she wanted to take a cruise. She knew which cruise. She knew how much it was going to take for her to go on that cruise. So clarity is number 1. As a matter of fact, we even broke down how much commission she would need to make. Like, she knew everything. We knew exactly what, when, very clear. That is super important when you're setting goals. Extremely important to know what you want. I think most people don't have what they want, not because they don't know how to do it, is because they don't know what they want. We haven't sat down, taken the time to figure out what is it that we truly want. And when I'm coaching people in a one-on-one setting, most of the time that becomes one of the hardest questions for them to answer is, what is it that you want? People just simply don't know. Yesterday was really cool. I had about 20 minutes before I needed to pick up my kid from high school, and Julia, my wonderful wife, asked me to stop by the store. She asked me to pick up 2 things. Now, because I knew exactly what I needed to pick up, it was like these frozen mac and cheese balls for the kids, because I'm not eating that, and protein powder for me. I knew exactly what it was. I knew where it was. I went into the store within 3 minutes. I went in, grabbed my 2 things. I was back in the car and picked him up. Nice and easy, and I was on time because it was easy. Have you ever gone to a grocery store without a list? It's chaos. When we don't know what we want, it's very hard to get. So clarity is number one. We definitely need to understand what it is that we're looking for. So being clear is number one. Number two is excitement. Get excited about your goal. There are going to be days that are just tough. There are going to be the days. I heard John Maxwell say this. He said, "Some days you're the pigeon, and some days you're the statue." And that's so true, isn't it? There are going to be days that are just very hard. You get a lot of no's, especially as an entrepreneur, especially if you're selling, especially in the B2B space, in any space you're trying to influence other people who don't necessarily want to be influenced. It's going to be tough. And if you don't have a clear goal that you are excited about, it's going to be very easy to give up on it. And so excitement is everything. Your attitude towards achieving that goal and being excited about who it is that you're going to become once you get it is going to pull you through on the days where everything else seems to be pushing you the other way. Number three is reminders. Have reminders. If I was to flip my camera around, I have my goals right here on a big list right in front of me on a wall. I see it. I'm sitting here. I look up. I see it. I have it everywhere. I have it on my phone. I have it on my iPad that's right here in front of me where I'm reading my notes from. Everywhere. So make it easy for you to remember your goal. Post it everywhere. Have sticky notes. Put it in your car. Put it on your mirror. When we put that ship, the picture of it, the cruise, the amenities that were on this cruise around her cubicle, and people walked by and asked about it, you should have seen the excitement in her voice when she told them about it. She was so excited to let everybody know exactly what she was doing and why. And by the way, that kind of caused her to make a commitment, right? Once she told people she's going to go on a cruise, hey, you better go on that cruise, right? We don't want to fail. And so that being excited about what you're doing is going to be huge on the days that you just don't want to do it. And Zig Ziglar had these great things. He talked about give up goals and he talked about go up goals. The give up goals, he said, look, if you're looking to give up smoking or drinking, or if you want to give up eating sweets, tell the whole world, tell everybody about it, right? Like if you have these goals, you want to tell everyone. Those are your give up goals. However, the go up goals, you only want to tell those people who will support you. Now, even your family, right? The people who have the best intentions for you could destroy your goal and your dream very, very quickly with their best intentions. So you want to make sure you're sharing your go up goals. Now, go up goals, what are those? Hey, I'm going to be the best salesperson in this company this year. I'm going to make X amount of money. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to start something. I'm going to start a podcast, whatever it is. I'm going to write a book. What you don't want to do is tell your go up goal to somebody who doesn't even think on that level, who's going to say, you write a book? Who are you? How are you going to write a book? Start a podcast? What do you know about starting podcasts? Start a business? You've never had you don't want any of that. You don't want that. You do want a nice, tight circle of friends who you can trust, who are rooting for you and want you to do well. And those are the people you want to share your go up goals with. All right. Number 4, take that goal, that overwhelming big goal, and break it down into bite-sized pieces. So for this cruise, if it was $5,000, and that seemed to be a big figure for a young lady, well, that $5,000 over 6 months really is just an extra, $1,200, $1,300 in commissions after she pays off and saves and, has whatever left over to put on for the cruise. So anytime you have a big goal, like for me, when I was writing B2B sales secrets, there were days when I first started writing it, I just did not want to write. And what would happen is I didn't write. And then I took a course on writing a book, and that exact thing came up. Like a lot of authors dealt with this. When they didn't feel inspired, they didn't write. And what the instructor told us was, hey, make a commitment daily to write a minimum amount of pages. That's it. No, it wasn't pages. It was words. Minimum amount of words per day. So my commitment was 400. It was very easy. I made it very easy to do, right? 400 words, not that bad. So on the days that I did not feel like writing, I had a commitment that no matter what, I'm going to write 400 words. Before you knew it, this book has about 56,000 words, every single one of them written by me. Because no matter, even if I took, every single day, all I wrote was 400 words, even if it took 4 years, eventually the book would be done. So take the goal, break it down into bite-sized pieces that are manageable daily. That will help you. You can schedule the things out. You can schedule your activities out. One of the things I like to use is a Trello board. So I have a goal, and then I'll put down each activity that needs to be done right under it. Keeps me accountable, allows me to think through it and plan, and it just works really well. So I highly recommend that for you guys. Number 5 is accountability. Holding yourself accountable is great, but having others who hold you accountable is even better. I mean, that's one of the reasons we started Relentless Goal Achievers, is to help people stay accountable. But I remember when I was doing a 75 hard challenge, and the reason I completed that challenge, and I didn't think it through. My last week of the challenge was like Christmas. I did it through Thanksgiving, through the move from Maryland to Florida. Like, if I would have thought it through, I probably wouldn't have done the 75 hard challenge when I did it. But the reason that I completed it was because I had a group of 10 other people. And every single day we committed to sending each other our workouts, sending each other our plan, and a picture at the end of the day. We would end of the day, everybody expected for each person to send them their results for the day. That helped us really, really well. Well, it helped me very, very well. So accountability, what I noticed, a lot of people shy away from it. We don't want to be held accountable. But if you want a different result, that's one area that we can tweak right now that's going to just skyrocket what you're doing. So find some accountability partners that will help hold you accountable to what you said you're going to do. Number 6, we have adjust the plan, never the goal. Adjust the plan, never the goal. Look, if you have a goal to earn X amount of dollars and your plan to get there isn't working. Let's say you wanted to do it via Facebook Lives like I'm here now, and Facebook changed their algorithm. They're not showing you to anybody. Don't change the goal, change the plan. I share this with people. Like, if I was going from Florida over to Texas, there's probably a million different ways I can get there, right? I can ride my bike, I can take a plane, I can drive my car, I can probably take a train, I can probably go through Mexico and take a ship. I don't know. There's tons of different ways I can get to Mexico from Florida. And if I leave my house and I plan to take I-70 heading, west, I don't even think that's a road that goes out there. But let's say I plan on take I-70 heading west to get to Texas, and there's a major accident. I'm not going to say, you know what, maybe I just shouldn't go to Texas. I'll go to Tennessee instead. That starts with a T. No, I'm not going to do that. We're all just going to detour however it takes, whatever it takes to get to Texas. The goal doesn't change. The plan can change. Okay. So do not be married to the plan, be married to your goal. That's huge. And number 7 is a bonus, my friends. What I'm learning and what I teach people is that who you're being is way, way more important than what you're doing to achieve the goal. Let me explain that to you really quick. So who we are being, if you think about it, our process for doing anything is that we get a thought, that thought causes a feeling, the feeling causes us to take action, and we take action, we get a certain result. Well, if we take a look at the result, you can also see what thought generated the feeling, the action to get the result. So we can backtrack it, right? So if I want to get a certain result, chances are I know what my thoughts were and what my actions were to get that result. So I could start being that person. So let's just assume that there's a certain person who you want similar results as they're getting. Well, you can just start thinking and doing what they're doing on a daily basis. Thinking and doing how they, if you think the thoughts that they think and you do the things that they're going to do, guess what? You're most likely are going to get similar results if you're being who they are being. So who you're being in that moment is way more important than what you're doing. Oftentimes I use this example. Like when I was writing my book, if you were to write a book or if you were to run a marathon, who trains for a marathon? Who writes a book? Authors do. So I had to become an author before I ever published a book, because who writes books? Authors do. You see, most people think they have to publish the book and then they become an author. That's backwards thinking. Although it's logical, it's backwards thinking. The easier thing to do is become an author now, start thinking and doing the things that an author does. And before you know it, you will have the result of an author. Just like me, with 400 words of a day minimum, resulted in a great book that's helping a bunch of people. So that is my lesson for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh, and by the way, if you need help achieving your goals, we're going to start a book study on Think and Grow Rich, but I'm going to do it differently. This isn't like a book study where we all have to read certain chapters before we get together. No. This is, I will show up, I'll pull out the lessons, for example, desire, and we're going to do a lesson from this book through the lens of an entrepreneur, through the lens of a sales professional. So if you're in sales, if you're an entrepreneur, and if you wanted to ever understand this book completely, and not just that, apply it through, how can a sales rep, how can a sales professional, how can an entrepreneur use desire? How can they use the power of a mastermind? How can they use the power of transmutation of energy, right? We're going to talk about all of those. So if you want to join that book study, and maybe you don't join book studies because you don't like to read, it's perfectly fine. You don't even have to read the book. You're going to get a lot out of it. It's not about reading the book. It's about studying the lessons from the book, in looking at it through the lens of an entrepreneur or a sales rep. I'm putting it in the comments right now where you can go and learn more about it. Hope to see you in there, in that tribe. The study on this Think and Grow Rich is going to start January 10th, but our Relentless Goal Achievers tribe is alive and well. Is the only place where we are going to have this book study, but the tribe is alive and well. We have really cool teaching calls, coaching calls, networking, all that fun stuff. And I hope you consider joining. Anyway, we'll see you on the next live stream. Bye, everybody.